Hi, my name is Josh Bashinsky. You may remember me from such SEO videos as, holy crap, SEO is awesome, and AI is coming down the pipe and it's going to totally change your job. Today I'm going to run you through how to check out free keywords, to do keyword research for your SEO project, whether it's client SEO, in-house SEO, or you're doing SEO for yourself, either affiliate or some other project. It is crucial to do keyword research ahead of time. I don't mean to find out what kind of AI keywords to use to boost your page. That's in a different video. I mean to do keyword research to find the niches that you should be trying to rank for. Also, we're going to go through some really cool tips and tricks of how to use ChatGPT to extend this search and to improve it for you. And we're also going to take a look at how to do a really cool Excel file to show the client and make a workable app for you, all for free, of how you could do this for yourself. So drink them if you got them. Let's get into the research. Okay, so we want to do keyword research for a customer. And we want to find out all the best niches that they should be ranking for. So what we need to do here is go into Google Ads, and we need to find their keyword planner. It's the free tool that Google lets you check out actual search volume and forecasts and discover new keywords that they're using their AI to separate out the keywords. And so this is the best free plan to use. I prefer this highly to Ahrefs or SEMrush or any other tool like that. So we're going to go to discover new keywords. Now make sure to select the geographic location that you want because we're just trying to rank for English. The current client I'm working on is affordablelamps.com. It's a great place to buy affordable lighting. If you want a discount in lighting, they've got the best prices, so I highly recommend you go there. But he sells all over the world, so I don't have to limit to Canada. This is also a great tool if you are doing local SEO. This is the only tool that will do local SEO well, in my opinion. And so if I just wanted to sell for Winnipeg, for example, poor Winnipeg, where I was born and raised. If I just wanted to sell for Winnipeg, I'd select Winnipeg and it would just select the queries in this area. So, but I want to sell for all English, so I'm going to leave it open. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with a website. I'm going to put in affordable lamps, affordablelamps.com. And we want to use the entire site. So it goes through the entire site and tells me all the kinds of things that they should be ranking for. They might be ranking for it already. This is a dominant brand in lamps. Or we might be able to find, I'll bet you that we're going to be able to find a bunch of keywords that they should be ranking for that have low competition and have a lot of money behind them that they haven't considered going for already. So, all right, great. So we've got 543 keyword ideas available. It's gone through all the pages and been like, okay, they want to sell pendant lights, best ceiling lights, LED lights, best lighting brands, ceiling lights, etc., etc., etc. That's all great. Now, what we want to do is we want to collect all this information into Excel. So we're going to download into CSV. Now it's preparing the report. So while that prepares, it's just going to download into a format that looks like this. And what it does, it's going to put the currency in Canadian because that's where I am, but it doesn't matter really. It's just a apples to apples comparison. It has all the keywords here on the left-hand side. What we're going to do is we're going to do some Excel magic in this spreadsheet and do some really cool tricks in here. So before I start dressing this Excel, however, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to delete these things, but I'm going to add more data because as you noticed, we only have 544 keywords, roughly 543 keywords. And I know for a fact that it's not giving me all the keywords that I want. So look what I can do. I'm going to take this list and I'm going to copy and paste it. And I'm going to go to ChatGPT. I did this already to make sure it would work for my demo. I pasted in all the 543 things. And I typed in what lighting products or categories are missing from this listing, this list of lighting. And then I pasted in the 543. And you're like, wow, Josh, how much can you paste in here? Well, ChatGPT is based on GPT 3.5, and the token limit there is usually around 4,000 tokens. A token is about half a word. So you could paste in maybe 2,000 words safely. And I got 543 items here. I didn't know if it would be too much, but I gave it a try. And look what it did. And then I said, okay, give me what's missing. And this is what it produced. It produced task-specific lighting, recessed lighting, wall sconces, outdoor lighting, smart lighting, decorative lighting, a bunch of stuff that wasn't in here. I'm like, yeah, I wanted to check. I'm like, sure, ChatGPT, sure it's not in here. And it isn't. You see, there's nothing about task. You see, there's nothing about, what about under cabinet? There's nothing about under cabinet. There's, it actually did a calculation of what's missing, and that's not actually there. So I thought, okay, great. Well, what I did is I just copied and pasted this whole list. I took this whole thing and I went back to keyword tool, and now we're going to go start with keywords, and I'm going to get rid of this because I want to cast a very wide net. When you're doing this keyword plan to find keywords that your client or your site should be trying to rank for, you want to cast as wide a net as possible. So I'm just going to paste it in here. Boom, it's going to limit it to 10, and it just pasted right in easily like that, and it limited it at professional lighting. So I'm going to go, okay, get results. And then I just have to remember it limited me at professional. So it did this one. Now I'm going to have to do these ones next. And so good. So now I've got I got 10,000 more ideas. And I go, okay. Then I'm just going to do download CSV. And then when that CSV downloads, we're going to open it. And all we're going to do is we're going to simply just paste it into the bottom of our first report and paste it in there. And then what I'll do, so here it is the CSV. Here's the new one. And I'm just going to take these rows here, Control C, and I'm going to go into the bottom of this other one that I'm working on already, the one that only had 544. I'm just going to paste it in here. Boom. Okay. And don't worry about the duplicates. We're gonna remove the duplicates later with the magic of Excel. I'll go down to the bottom of this one. So now we got like 11,000, and now I'm going to add even more. I'm going to go back to ChatGPT. I'm going to Control C these ones, and I'm going to go back to AdWords, and then I'm going to get rid of all these, boop, 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 and paste these ones in, boom, and say get results. And so we're casting the widest possible net with the magic of ChatGPT, which was really cool how intelligent is this thing, was able to read what was missing here and add in ones that are missing. And I could have even said, show me the most expensive ones too. I could have done this a little bit better, but it was just really quick and dirty to see which ones were missing. And this is a really nice way to use ChatGPT to help you think, to use it as an assistant. Just ask it questions and let it do its thinking. Let it look over the data that you haven't thought of. And you can just start asking ChatGPT questions like this. So it's a super cool way to use it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to address this data. I don't need some of these columns, and I'm going to get rid of them. Now that I've casted the widest net, I'm going to get rid of this one. I'm going to rename this to traffic. This is the average traffic per month. And if I was going to give this to the client, I'd be a little bit more verbose. Average traffic per month. I'd be a little bit more verbose so that the client understands how this works and what I'm showing them here. This is the 3-month change. This is the hot this year. This is the competition, which we don't need. Another competition value, which we don't need. We're not buying ads. This is the low dollar range for bids. This is the high dollar range for bids. And then I'm going to get rid of all these which I do not need. Okay? So now I've got this in a much more interesting data that we can use. But we're not done. We have a lot of duplicates in these 17,000 keywords that we got that he could possibly go for to rank. So what we need to do is we need to pare this down even further. So it's simple. I just highlight the whole thing. You go to data and you click remove duplicates and say okay. And it removed 58 duplicate values and left the remainders. So that should remove all duplicates for you. It removed 58 for me. That seems a little low. It might be broken somehow, but it doesn't matter. If there's some duplicates, it doesn't really matter because I'm not going to list them alphabetically. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start making scores to work on this information. So the next thing I want to do is I want to put this in a table. So I highlight the top. I do Control-Shift down arrow to get the whole thing. Then in Windows, I do Control-T. I believe it's Command-T in Mac. And this puts it in a pivot table where I can start sorting this by the largest or sorting this by the smallest kind of values, right? So what I'm going to do now, after I've cleaned up the data a little bit, is I'm going to make new columns that basically I get to make my own SEO tool out of Excel kind of on the fly here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make columns that are going to sort this data in ways that are very useful for SEO in determining which keywords here we ought to try and go for. So first off, I'm going to go down here to the bottom of the float table. And I'm going to grab this little blue thing. And I'm going to drag it over by 3, at least, if not 4, because I intend to make 4 different columns. And I'm going to go up, and this first column is going to be average, the average price. So I don't want to go with the high CPC because that can be weird. Sometimes people are bidding really high for some reason. I don't want to go with the low because that kind of undersells how good some of these keywords are going to be. So what I'm going to do is do the average. So I do equals average, parentheses, take these two, hit enter. And because now we're in a float table, it automatically populates them. So if I want to see what the average one is, it's going to, I start it with the largest. Now you notice, hold on, first off we have an issue. It says div divided by 0. That's because these don't have a value. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to guess, it's worth at least 1 cent of traffic. Nothing's worth 0 traffic. So I'm going to put 0, 1 in here, and I'm going to put 0, 1 in here. And I'm going to take these, and I'm going to drag these all the way down and populate these rows with just some value. So you bring this down so that all these have values. And then so you have an average here, right? And so if I want to see what the average is now, I'd say largest. And you know, wow, somebody's willing to bid on average 61 bucks to sell a lamp track, which is very interesting information. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a better score. I'm going to start scoring these guys in ways that are very useful for SEO to make educated decisions as to which of these keywords we want to go for. So first off, I'm going to do traffic plus money. So that's going to be, I'm going to times the average money that's behind the query times the traffic. This will give us a sense of the traffic that's behind a query and the money someone's willing to buy. And theoretically, the more of this traffic we can get because it spends the most, we'll make the most money off it. And that will be a good way to base a lot of my recommendations. The next one we're going to do here is going to be hot plus money. So what is hot this year, but also is making the most money? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this one, and I'm going to multiply that by the average. And we're going to get a number here as well as to which ones are really up this year and also make the most money. The little issue we have going on here is that some don't have a value. So we're just going to set these to 50%. We don't know if they're up because they're new. So we're just going to say 50-50, who knows if this is up or not. Set that to 50%, and then we redo it, largest, boom. Okay, so now we got, look how much up these keywords are this time of year from last year. This is up almost 3,000% from last year. And the average money is $1 per click, which is not too bad. And if you're like, well, Josh, how do we see that relative to everything else? Well, this is how we do it. Now we want to put in conditional formatting to have more at a glance kind of information. So we put that, we're going to do it in a bunch of different columns. So I'm going to do it on the B column, which is the traffic. I'm going to put in conditional formatting. On the hot this year, I'm going to put in conditional formatting. On the average, I'm going to put in some conditional formatting. And that gives me a sense of, okay, well, this is really low. You see, if you want to know what is full, it's going to be the full width of the column. So this is actually really low money, but it's very, very hot. It's really, really up. So you can be like, oh, okay, sure, fine. You can start making some educated decisions based off of this. And then finally, we're going to say which is the best SEO score. So the best SEO score is going to be the average times the traffic times, quite frankly, how hot it is. And so the best SEO score is going to take all the positive factors of how much money it makes on average, how hot it is and people want to buy it, and how much traffic it has. The traffic, the how hot it is, and put all that together, and that gives you the best SEO score. And if I want to dress up the data a little bit more, I can, and I've already done that. This is not really a tutorial on how to use Excel, but if you want to make it much more manageable and easier on the eyes, you can change it to this, right? Where I've done the best score. I've got this year's money of how hot it is. I've got the traffic plus the money. I've bolded the average dollars here. I've got the rise from last year, and I've got the average monthly traffic. So this way I can sort it by the best SEO score. And I've also put conditional formatting on those as well. And I can see by the best SEO score here, which ones I might want to suggest the client, in this case my client, but it could be for your website, it could be also in-house SEO. This way I can suggest which keywords they should actually be going for here, instead of the client choosing at random or building it out on some kind of mistaken theory of topical clusters, something like that. In my opinion, every page should be a money page. Every page should be making you money, or should be very close to making you money, because topical relevancy will work just as well for a money page as it will for an informational page, if you're doing it right. So right away, we can see some that have rises from last year that float to the top, the traffic floats to the top, and the money floats to the top. And we can see these ones have the best SEO score. The actual value, that the number here is not important, so I've graded out. What's important is the relative bars of colors. That's what's relatively important. These scores are just arbitrary ways of scoring it to make it relative to each other. There's a couple more really cool things I did here that I want you to check out that I'm going to show you how to do. You'll also noticed that, okay, well, we got a bunch of queries here that he can go for, and we ended up with 13,000 in the particular one I did first, being a bit more careful and not talking while I'm doing it, checking a couple things out. But it was 99% identical to what I showed you. You might notice I have a Google SERP thing here, and I'm able to actually click and check what each of these queries seems to bring up. And I have SEO Quick, which is free installed, which starts to give me difficulty ratings in terms of keywords and traffic and things of that nature, of how hard it might be to rank for each of these different particular keywords. You can ignore YouTube, of course. That's Query Deserves Diversity. You're like, Josh, how'd you do that? Well, let me show you. First off, we might be like, well, lighting companies, he is a lighting company. Should he be trying to rank for lighting companies? There's a lot of traffic for it. It's down for 3 months. It's equal to last year. But there's a huge amount of money behind it because people are trying to bid on the high end to show up for lighting companies, right? So wouldn't it be cool to be able to rank for that? Well, yeah, it might be. But to check, to make sure, it looks really good on paper here. To check the competition, I've added an SEO difficulty score that I will add manually. I like to do this manually and not use a tool because, quite frankly, there's no other tool out there right now which is smart enough to do it like a human. I am building an AI-based one, so if you want more information on that, make sure you subscribe. Click the bell if you want updates on that, or email me at joshbashinsky@gmail.com for any SEO questions, including any SEO AI questions or any AI questions as well, including about when I might be making this AI-based competitive research. In my private mastermind group, Underground SEO University, we have a 9-step guaranteed, proven by science, based on my 25 years experience or so in the SEO industry, of how to do real competitive research. Something that is far beyond what any other tool does. And if you join Underground SEO University, I will show you how to manually, step by step, do that process to be an experienced expert SEO consultant or whatever you're doing, an experienced SEO. I'm also looking into building an AI to do this, to try, and of course, any kind of tool we can build that's good. It's not about using a tool that's crappy. It's about using a tool that's good. I've also got an excellent keyword-based AI tool that I helped engineer coming out very soon called Keyword Spy. Email me if you want advance access to a grandfathered super low price for the AI keyword tool that I helped engineer. It's called Keyword Spy. It's coming out very soon. You should definitely check it out. But anyway, back to this. It's really useful. Some of these are kind of vague and you're not really sure what it's going to be about. You're like, is this appropriate for my client? It'd be really cool if I could just click this and search for it. So I'm like, why don't I build a link in automatically to search for all these queries? It's easy to do if you know enough about Excel and if you know enough about Google. So let me show you how I did it. So I put in this extra column here, just insert column, and I named it Google SERP. And what I did is check out the how do I make this bigger? How do you see this? Don't know if you could see that. Let me take this out and put this in Notepad so you can see it for sure. This is the formula I used. So this is going to be easy to see. So I used the hyperlink formula, and then I used the concatenate formula. And I concatenated an average Google search URL. And then I added the keyword which I got from this column right here, right? So this is called keyword. The column is called keyword. And so what I did is while I'm typing this in, I was here, I said and I added in this, and I clicked that, and that got automatically inserted here. So that's how that works. It's easy to do. And let's look deeper into the Google search query I used. It's search ? And these are the important parameters you want to use here. So pay close attention to this part. If you're searching whatever language you want to search in, you would need to use the language code that Google uses here. I would do a Google search to find out about the HL attribute, or URL parameter, it's called, the HL URL parameter for Google search parameters, or just search what the language code is for your particular language, EN for English, FR for French, I believe it is, et cetera, et cetera. The geolocation, I did US because he's mostly a US company. I'm mostly concerned about US rankings, although he sells all over the world. And then to remove personalization, I did PWS equals 0. And the actual search query is Q equals. So then that's going to take this words and put it in here. Then I ended the concatenate. So this is the concatenate function. So I need to use concatenate because hyperlink won't allow you to do this. So I needed to use concatenate to concatenate this text string with this particular value of this cell. And then check is the link, and that's how hyperlink works. And then I close the hyperlink there, right? And then when that's done, when you click this, you see, boom, it took the value of that particular cell and put it into a Google search string and searched it for me. And so now all I have to do is to check to see how competitive it is, install the free SEO Quick SERP overlay plugin, Chrome extension, or you plug in whatever Chrome extension there you want to even see what this means. Like, what does Google think this means, lighting room? What are people looking for when they search lighting room? What are they searching for when they type in light store? This is why doing this keyword research is critical, because you never know what crazy things humans think up to search for. Light store, lighting room? What does a lighting room mean? I would never search that, but that's not the point. We need to do keyword research to find out what other people will search for. And when we do that, then we get a sense of super awesome keywords that can make a lot of money, that are hot this year, that have a ton of traffic that you never would have considered and your client never would have considered. And who knows, the SEO for these could be super easy. There could be super low-hanging fruit here that can definitely make your SEO efforts way easier because it's super easy to rank for, or much easier to rank for, and will make you a lot more money too, because it's all about making money at the end of the day. So once I click check here and I get to check for lighting room, I see, oh, okay, yeah, they are looking for room lighting. And look, Amazon is going up to number 1, then the New York Times. So I can just tell you right away, this looks difficult. Then this looks difficult. Room and board, modern lighting, HGTV, IKEA, Home Depot, YouTube, The Spruce, apartment therapy, and that's page 1, then elect decor. So just at a glance, join Underground SEO University to get the full way of analyzing a competitor. But I'd say in terms of difficulty, I'd say this is at least 100% difficult. And so I'm going to use a scoring like this as a note. Minus equals hard, and I'm going to say for my scoring, plus is easy. So minus 100%, I mean, that's pretty much as hard as it gets. It's actually not that hard. I'd say 90% to get onto page 1 for this. And then from this, I can make a new score, the modified score. The modified SEO score with comp. I can make this score and say it's this times this. And now we know how difficult this is going to be. And then after I've scored, maybe 10 of them, 100 of them, doing my due diligence as an SEO consultant, or you could use a tool to compute this as well if you don't want to do it manually. But I really suggest the professionals really would do this manually, because a tool is never going to take certain things into account. Just for example, I will tell you the first thing that I would tell my students in Underground University, number 1 of the 9 steps, I will tell you right now, is that although Amazon and New York Times are really hard sites to beat, Room and Board, HGTV, IKEA, Home Depot, The Spruce, and Apartment Therapy, and Elect Decor, are really hard sites to beat for lighting room, which is probably room lighting. But there's no site here except for number 10. There's no site here dedicated to lighting the way my client is dedicated to lighting. A site dedicated to a topic is always going to beat apples to apples. A site dedicated to a topic is always going to beat a page dedicated to a topic. Again, comparing apples to apples, all things being equal. And my client is dedicated to lighting. They're the best, one of the best sites out there for lighting. AffordableLamps.com. I highly suggest you go there and get the discount. Tell them Josh sent you. I'm not too scared about trying to compete with those pages. I'm pretty confident that I can get page 1 ranking at the very least without too much difficulty and without too much cost. And then what I do is I'll just keep going through. I'll check lighting. Lighting would be even harder because, of course, it's just a general query, but you never know. So we got Wayfair. I've got a page dedicated to it. Now we have a site dedicated to it. Okay. We have a page dedicated to it. We have a site dedicated to it. We have a page. Now we have a site dedicated to it. One of his major competitors, actually. And he's not there, which is also interesting to know, because he usually focuses on discount lighting, not lighting, but that's besides the point. So this one would be even harder to get. I'd say minus 100 is what I would say. And then if I added this into the table, it would also auto-populate that automatically. And I would just go down the list and start to see how difficult these things are. But that's how you would get a super cool tool using ChatGPT to remember to recommend the keywords that maybe you've possibly missed or didn't think about. Cast as wide a net as possible to get many thousands of queries, and you can see what you should be trying to rank for. And heck, at the bottom, you can see maybe what you shouldn't be trying to rank for. If we go smallest, you can start to see the queries that suck. That maybe the 3 months trend is up and they're hot this year, but they have hardly any money and really, really low traffic. And that's the kind of things that you like. These ones here that are in the middle really are terrible. When you go down to the 0% ones here, these are the ones you definitely shouldn't be trying to rank for. There's hardly any searches and hardly any money. Yeah, you could find really good, easy ones to rank here for, but that's not the point. Every single page you spend money and time on should be a page that would directly make you money if at all possible. And if you're using the proper ways of detecting what pages are best to rank for, like this, you know, when you start getting down to this area that are still making good money and have a lot of traffic, you're going to see tons of pages in here that are going to be low-hanging fruit, that are easy to rank for. That you're like, can lights track LI? Like, this is people who have screwed up the search, but people are bidding on it because they know that it'll make money, right? And you've got good high number of searches here too. So if you start going down into the mid 50s and 60s by doing this method, you're going to find magic keywords to rank for. And then you just use this little trick to click check to see what's there. Light store is a great query for my client to try to rank for. And yeah, there's sites dedicated to it, but this one is a great one to try and go for because they are a light store and they have a really high, a good SEO, and so they can really compete here really, really well. So if you want more information about how to do a very detailed and professional competitor analysis with the 9 steps that really the top level consultants who charge $1,000 an hour and the top level pros do, join Underground SEO University. I've got a special discount on right now, and I teach this and more. I teach these tactics. This is just a little sampler of what you will get in Underground SEO University. We've got the best AI tools. We have the best AI programming. We have the best SEO research. We have the best testing of Google's AI systems on the planet, bar none. Join and you will be wowed by the new and unique and different SEO information that we have. So I hope you liked this video. That was just a sampler of what's more to come. Email me at joshpashinsky@gmail.com if you have any SEO questions at all or any AI questions at all, including wanting to get the discount into Underground SEO University. And good luck, and we'll see you next time.